Alright, so in today's video, we're going to head on down to our local pond and we're going to give you guys a few little tips on fall fishing, and we're going to try to catch a few bass. The bass in there aren't really that big, but there's still quite a few in there. We should be able to get at least one or two. We'll just see how it goes. So we're going to head on down to the pond now and we're going to get to fishing. Alright, so I just made it down to the pond. Today I'm going to be starting off with a Texas rigged sneaky worm. You can pick up this bait at Dwayne's Custom Baits. Links in the description. And if you decide to, if you mind using my promo code DCBBN, that's also down in the description. So go check out Dwayne's Custom Baits. You're about to see how many fish I'm about to catch on this. All right, Luke's hooked up. Just a little dink. We haven't really caught that many big fish out of here, except for in the winter time on a drop shot. But I mean, for the summer, we really haven't caught that many big fish.
I caught a 5 on a fluke, which was the biggest fish I ever caught on a fluke. But other than that, not really.
Really? You caught a 5 out of here?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Jeez. All right, there it goes, a little ding. It is so cold right now, guys. It's 26 degrees. It's 7 o'clock. I broke off and I had to retie. I couldn't even feel my fingers, so I couldn't. And everything's like covered with. Oh, it's crazy. My fingers are so cold I couldn't even grab the line to put it through the eye.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Oh, Luke's got one. It's a little dink. Brush hog's killing it today, though.
Oh, he's really crazy.
Let's see him. There he is. All right, here goes with the release of his .25. Oh wow. All right, I need to get on one now or switch to a brush hog. We'll just have to see. I've almost fallen like twice today. Ugh. All right, so I guess I'll give you guys some tips on fall fishing since we're really not catching that much. So my first tip is with fall fishing. I might have already made a video on this. Did I make a video on this? I don't think so. Fall fishing tips. I know I did a tackle talk on it, but I mean, might as well. We're not catching anything. If you want to say something, just jump in. So first, early fall, you're gonna want to be fishing like moving baits because they're like getting big for the winter. They're trying to beef up before the winter. So you're gonna want to be fishing like crankbaits, all that stuff. But I mean, you can still fish it. It's just got really cold today. It's still considered early fall here because it's like way off because it's North Carolina. But I mean, it's still pretty warm here. Today's like the first really cold day we had in a while. But so you're gonna want to fish it pretty fast, like try to get the reaction strike and just early fall fishing. And then later, like the middle of fall, you're gonna want to start slowing things down a little bit. Like that's what we're doing kind of now. I'm fishing I already showed you guys earlier, but just a Texas rigged trick worm. Casting it out there and I'm just dragging it along the bottom, just trying to slow things down, see if I can get one to pick it up. And then you're using a brush hog, right? Yeah. What are you doing with that?
Oh, I'm using a baby brush hog.
Yeah, what are you?
Big brush hog.
Yeah, you're just like
that won't work.
Just working it like a brush hog.
All I'm doing is just letting it sink to the bottom, and I'm just kind of like pushing it up, just only about like 6 inches up off the bottom, maybe not even.
So we're hugging the bottom pretty close, and we're making our baits smaller. We're not using the large sizes of these. We're using the smallest that we can basically get of these lures. Luke's got some more tips.
All right, so like these are kind of tips for more moving baits. If I'm gonna be fishing like a jerk bait.
Here, let me sit down my rod real quick, and then I can get a better shot.
If I'm gonna be fishing like a jerk bait in the fall or winter, I'm mostly going to be fishing a suspending one, not really a floating one. And if it is floating, there's a trick to it. All you have to do is wrap some lead wire around the back treble and just enough to get it to suspend instead of float. And I mean, you can change it into a suspending jerkbait. And then I'll usually use smaller jerkbaits like this, like a Yozuri. So that's only about, what, a 3-inch?
Yeah, that's probably about 3 inches.
I'll try to scale down. I'm not going to be using the big ones like I do in the summertime. But yeah, so for that. And then what I'll do with that is I'll just do a few twitches and then I'll just let it sit there. Because in the winter and fall, and the fish are really lethargic. They're most of the time they're just gonna barely hit it when it's sitting right in front of their face. They're just gonna touch it, and that's usually when you hook them. But and also rattle traps too. I like to use red eyes. So does Bryce. They're pretty good. You can yo-yo them. I do like doing that. I have had a lot of hits doing that, and just trying to fish it more towards the bottom and get a reaction strike out of them is pretty. That does work for me usually.
So basically in the fall is what we're trying to get at is you want to slow down and go small.
Yeah.
That's basically, it's like preparing for winter.
Yeah.
That's all it is really. All right, we're gonna give you guys a few more tips. We got too cold, we could not stay out there any longer. It was freezing. So now we're just gonna give you a few more tips in the car. So Luke's gonna start. All right,
so I was just fishing a brush hog. Like I said, I only hop it about like 2 or 3 inches up off the bottom, very short, and then I just let it sit there. Both the fish I caught today were when it was sitting there. So they're gonna want slower moving stuff, smaller stuff. I use a baby brush hog during the fall. A brush hog for the fall is honestly my favorite lure. People use lizards, they use trick worms, which also work really well, but I just really like brush hogs. I don't know why, but it imitates like one of those big bug looking things. We've seen them before. They're like really weird looking, but it looks like them, and it just really works well for me in the fall, so that's what I use. Also, same thing with like the rattle traps and stuff. I like using that. You can still use square bills in the fall. Just, I don't really like to, but you can. I like to use smaller jerk baits, like I said, Yozuris and rattle traps. You can yo-yo, stuff like that.
And then I was using a small Dwayne's Custom Baits trick worm. I think that was the 3.5 inch, but I'm not sure. And I was just hopping that, just the same thing that he was doing, like 6 inches off the bottom, dragging on the bottom, just trying out new things just to see what would work. But unfortunately, I missed one. That was about all that I had, all the action I had today. I missed one. Alright, so thanks so much for watching, and if you're new to my channel, you're going to want to subscribe because we got a ton of amazing content coming up, and you're not going to want to miss it. So, thanks for watching. See ya!